How we doing? It's Yatta podcast time. We are here to educate, entertain, and lift the lid. My name is Russ, and on the left, I got my boy Aldo Catoldi. On the right, I've got Mr. Charles Liddell.
And I think we're going to go places.
Personally, I'm really excited.
It's another Yatta podcast. Keep it locked.
Welcome to the Yatta Weekly Podcast, Sam.
Yep.
It's good to see you've got your Red Bull Racing team.
And I've got my Trident shirt on underneath as well.
Ooh.
Because, race weekend for Callan. So, yeah, got to flag the Trident stuff. Got to get behind him,
Where's
get
he?
in the spirit.
Is he racing in Silverstone?
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty cool. That's a famous race, eh?
Yeah, it is.
That's awesome.
Where it all started. And it's like crowd. I believe record attendance for a 3-day event.
How do you prepare? It's a bit off topic already. We've started talking about Formula 2 already. But anyway, how do you prepare for your race weekend with Callan? Like, what's your involvement in the process? Like, do you have contact with him like while he's racing, or you just like literally just watch the race at home?
So I'm fortunate to play a little bit of a part in the weekend. Tell you what, my dad would be, he's flat out. So
is he busy?
Yeah, very busy.
Is
So
he in
luckily,
Perth?
So luckily I got I do all the fun stuff and the less tricky things. So basically, throughout the weekend, to be honest, I won't speak to him that much. Like I might say like good luck or good race. But he's just that busy. Like it was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday as well, Callan.
Happy birthday, young Callan.
And his schedule is just packed.
But basically, for you to prepare for the weekend, you literally just like watch everything at home.
So
relax.
what I'll do is because I do all the like the posters and so if there's like it gets in the top 10, I'll have them so they're ready to go. The times, everything. So the posters will start about a week before.
Yeah.
Get them up on the Thursday. And then if it's a double header, I might start it like it is now. I might start it 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
So that's the posters. So one went up last night. Then I'll do the race results. So if he gets in the top 10, then goes up straight away. So that I'll usually do in the interim. So because there's a big gap between like practice and qualifying, and like qualifying's at like 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I need something to do.
So you're also going to you're going to Zandvoort.
Yeah, so I was looking at flights. I haven't booked anything yet, but I'll be going to Zandvoort and Monza.
Get some footage for the audience, and we'll do a podcast when you get back, and we'll have a look at your experience. It'd be good to get a bit of behind the scenes. Be interesting.
Yeah, well, that's something I'm gonna have to think about because because it's with F1, they're very strict. Like if they catch you with a camera in the paddock, they'll get you to put away because there's all the broadcast rights and.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can still get stuff.
Maybe just get
like in the garage
yeah.
and like outside and before the event.
Yeah.
So, if they see you with a camera on the grid, they'll be like,
mate, just sneak the GoPro and you'll be fine.
Yeah, no, I'll put it like under the shirt, like the thigh one. But
that'll be fun.
Yeah. So there's lots. To be honest with you, there's lots involved. There's lots I get to be a part of with Callan's race weekends, and to be honest with you, it's an amazing feeling to be a part of kind of the Grand Prix weekend with Callan and the level of involvement. So exciting.
Yeah, super exciting.
Yeah, sometimes you kind of lose that because it can get a bit stressful.
Yeah.
But this year I've really kind of been like, wow, we're at the top now.
Yeah.
So
only one more tier to go, and then you're there. Boom.
Yeah.
That'd
Well,
be
even like with junior racing, there's like no higher step.
Yeah.
So could still say it's a top.
No, it
step.
is 100%.
Top of the ladder. So
it's dangerous sport, that's for sure. He's taking, he's risking his life, and
yeah. Well, he had a big one in Baku, so thankfully he was alright. Yeah.
Someone crashed into him.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Twice in a row.
We won't talk about that.
Nah.
So now that we've spoken about the fun stuff, we're going to get straight into the boring stuff. The reason I was like, okay, well, let's just keep this consistent is because there's things happening every single day in the property market, right? So yesterday, the banks raised interest rates. So Commonwealth Bank, I think is 1.25 2%. I should know. There's a fixed interest rate. I got to double check. Actually, I should know this sort of stuff. I'm going to talk about it. And people were quite concerned at the fact that it's quite a big hike, you know. But I think that's not the issue. I think we have to really focus about the positives in the property at the moment. You know, on the last week, the council released their budgets, and I just wanted to give the viewers some perspective on the amount of money that the government is investing in the economy in terms of and these estates. Like, so the Wanneroo budget was done. $235 million is the budget that was approved for 2022-2023 for Wanneroo. So just so you know, Wanneroo, if you look, and we'll bring this up for the viewers, but if you look at Wanneroo and you look at the east of Sanagra and north of Lansdale, there's a huge amount of land there. So
near Barbagallo.
No,
Or just
yes,
south
correct.
of Barbagallo.
Yeah, correct. So there's a huge amount, and there's so much. So 235 million. Let me explain to you what there's going to. So the foreshore management and conservation, 9.5 million is going to be spent on that, right? Community facilities, $14.3 million, right? Community health and safety and emergency management, 15 million. Libraries, museums and heritage, 13.4 million. Parks, playgrounds and conservation, $30.5 million are going to be spent on that. Roads, street lighting, pathways, $54.8 million, right? Sporting facilities, $41 million, right? Crazy. Waste and recycling. This is super important because it's being green for our future. 43.1 million. And governance, 7.2 million, which is basically broken into business and economic development. You know, so we look at that and we think, well, hang on a sec. Like, right now there's land there. So as an example, right, if you don't want to like go into Wanneroo, you think about the surrounding suburbs that are going to benefit from all this, because what's going to happen is the suburbs that are already developed around Wanneroo are going to increase in value because there's going to be more people in Wanneroo, and what's going to service the Wanneroo district is going to be Joondalup as an example, right? So that's the main city. So you buy in an estate like Mayella, which is by Joondalup Lake, right? Can you imagine in 10 years' time when all that development in Wanneroo is already half finished?
So you're saying there's plenty of opportunity?
There's all sorts of opportunities and all this and that, and then I was just like, yeah, well, why don't we go and chance it then?
This is the rare opportunity you find where you're not in the middle of Alkimar.
No.
See, the thing about Joondalup, right, is you've got the university, you got the lake,
Yeah.
you got the shops.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realise like how close you were.
Yeah.
Like, literally beyond those bushes is the lake.
Yeah, and it's like the view of that as well. It's lovely, and it's basically like you've got the old and the new.
So to hear how Scott took the most of his opportunity in the Wanneroo and Joondalup area, you can go listen and view that episode on our YouTube or Spotify, and we'll link it down in the description for you.
So essentially what happens next, so I'm looking at the internet now, and I think it's been approved, the East District Structure Plan. So what happens next? So stage 1, 2021 to 2031, 10,000 dwellings. So are going to be put into 10,000 homes are going to be put into East Wanneroo. Stage 2, from 2031 to 2051 is 20,000 dwellings, and then 2051 plus is 20,000 plus. So you can see that there's a huge amount of money and potential there. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to buy in East Wanneroo, but this is an interesting time to look at the surrounding areas in Wanneroo, you know, and they're already expensive and they're only going to increase more, you know. So I think that for us as well, I have two of my cousins who work in the councils, and I can't name them yet because I have the insight a little bit, and it's interesting because I get to know all these sort of things early, and it's one of the things at Yatta that we do and we pride ourselves on is when we deal with our clients is talking about future, you know, what is happening in the future, not now, but looking at the long-term gain as well, you know, because property, you have to look at it as a long-term gain as well. It's not all about instant gratification. It's about buying a property now for the future, you know. So it's interesting. I just wanted to bring that up as well and talk a bit about the budgets. And most of the councils have released their budgets as well. So it's not just Wanneroo, there's other councils as well. But I don't want to talk about budgets the whole time. But it's just interesting to know that this is the development that's happening in Perth at the moment, you know?
Yeah, well, I'm just interested because obviously I'm a Joondalup boy.
Yeah.
So and I'm just completely obsessed with Joondalup. So to have kind of opportunities in Wanneroo, especially for the near future, I think, you know.
Well, again,
that sounds really exciting.
Yeah, because I mean, above Wangara, there's not much, you know. You've
That's
got
all industrial, isn't it?
correct. So Sanagra, and then there's a huge gap between Banksia Grove, and there's just nothing. We also, I wanted to just talk about a bit about expanding our building envelope as well. So we have an exciting, obviously our registered builder is Rob Spadaccini, who builds our homes for us, and then our other registered builder is Domination Homes as well. So, and which is part of Zircon Domination. So the interesting thing is our building envelope is really unique because we do a lot of infill building in suburbs like Joondalup and stuff like that. And then we do a lot of, we started to do rural as well. So Lake Clifton, Jarrahdale, all the sort of stuff that's kind of rural. Below Mandurah as well, Dawesville and stuff as well. So if clients are looking for bigger blocks, and I get clients calling me all the time, like I got 1,000 acres, whatever, we can start doing that stuff as well, and trades are starting to open up. The one thing we won't do is we won't build in an area where we struggle to get trades to the point of quality, So that's interesting. And then we've got a motorbike promo coming out as well. Maybe we can chat a bit about that.
Yeah, I think we should.
So we're going to be giving away a Harley Davidson, potentially a Fat Boy. We haven't.
The model is yet to be confirmed, though.
Yeah, we actually have an example model in our display home at the moment, and we can't release the full T's and C's, but there is going to be a motorbike giveaway for the first X amount of clients that sign up with Yatta/Zircon. We'll be giving away the motorbike, which is going to be really, really exciting because, who doesn't like motorbikes? Do you watch the MotoGP?
Should I say yes?
Yes, come on.
Say yes? Yeah, I watch it all the time. I love it.
But, it's more of a cruiser, and
Yeah.
and the other thing is if you don't want the motorbike, because, motorbikes can be dangerous and irresponsible, we'll be doing a cash giveaway for the value of the motorbike as well. We have a beautiful, beautiful display home in Baldarvis that Zircon Living have just won the award for best display home for 510 up to 850. And we'll be taking over that display home for them. And it's amazing because it's such a beautiful home, and the motorbike is on display there at the moment. That's not the exact motorbike we'll probably give away. There's an attachment to that motorbike at the moment because it's been there for a while, so we'll be giving one of similar value away. But it's interesting because that home's amazing.
Oh yeah,
it's beautiful. I can't wait to go there and show clients showcase of what we can actually build.
Yeah, we had the privilege to walk through it. It must have been a couple months ago now.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
The other thing I wanted to
love the pool table and that little sports area at the back.
Yeah, we've built a sports bar there at the back as well, which is amazing, and just showing people what we can do. And the other thing as well, just on that, is obviously we work with award-winning builders. Is at the moment, obviously we have a lot going on with the promos and stuff, but it's an interesting thing at the moment. What people don't realize is the extent Zircon go through to manage, price rises, delays, all that sort of stuff. Like as an example, at the moment, you look at what they do. They got a farm, and we're gonna do some stuff around the farm, but where we stockpile timber, warehouses full of ovens and bricks, and just stockpiling all the materials we need to build a home, and actually having our own trucks to go out there and take the supplies. Like as an example, you can't put timber on the site. It's in the way. You can't bring timber when you're putting the bricks down, right? So we store the timber on the farm. Then when it's ready, take the trucks out of the warehouse, pick the timber up, bring it. So there's no delays, These are the things clients need to start realizing of our point of difference of what we do, No other builders doing this at the moment. They're not stockpiling all the materials they need to build the house,
Yeah, I remember when you said it to us, and I was just blown away. I'm not overly savvy in that area, but just I don't think anyone else is doing it.
No.
Or no one else is, from what I'm aware.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do some promos around that and release some footage around the farm, go to the farm, show clients where the timber is, and, take clients up to the warehouse and show all the scaffolding and all that sort of stuff, to the point where they bring their own skip bins and stuff. It's a really well-oiled machine. And this allows us to build quicker than any other builder in Perth at the moment. Genuinely, build times are around 18 months at the moment on average. If we're able to build, 8 to 10 months, that's significantly less than everyone else at the moment. And then just being transparent around price rises. Like, we can't guarantee prices. Like, that's the reality. We can't. But we have allowances in place to be able to minimize them and just make sure the client doesn't actually get the price rise. So what happens is, if we know that block is tiling at the end of the year, right, we have to allow X amount in the contract to be able to service the loan when the house is finished. And one thing is just being able to be honest with the client to let them know that when price rises slow down, they will stop receiving them as well, you know. So it's very, very exciting. I'm super excited about the relationship we have with our building partners, and all the stuff we're doing. Me and what's your name again? Me and Sam just had
I've been called worse, don't worry.
Yeah, we just had a marketing meeting about releasing all this stuff, and Sam's going to put some dates together this month, and we're going to go out and film the farm and film the warehouse and scaffolding company, and we're going to go out and film the motorbike and release the promo and release the T's and C's on it, and take it over to Display Home in the next couple of weeks, and do a lot of footage and get it out there, you know. Anything else you wanted to add on this podcast?
Well, I'm super excited for this month. I think the opportunity there is just, it's immense. Like, we were talking about it before.
Yeah.
And it's just like your head's like just lighting up.
And you know what? I've got to add to that. Like, I've got to give the sales team credit. We've had a really, really good month.
Yeah.
I don't want to disclose our figures, but we've managed to help quite a lot of people this month into their first steps of home ownership. And you get all this propaganda out there: interest rates, banks, insolvencies, builders, bankrupt, all this sort of stuff. We don't listen to any of that nonsense, because the media is always going to project fear in fear mongering and fear into the economy to manipulate what they need to manipulate. And the reality is, property, if you look at over a 30-year period, has always been a safe investment. It just has. The figures, you know, are there. You go do your own research, you know. And we've been very busy, and people need homes. You know, people don't need Bitcoin, you know, but they need homes. Like, you can't live in your Bitcoin, you know. I'm a little bit.
Didn't you invest in Bitcoin though?
Yeah, I've got a fair bit of Bitcoin, and I'm hating on Bitcoin at the moment because, you know, it's I've taken quite a big hit in Bitcoin in the past few months. I bought quite a lot of Bitcoin back in January when I thought was the low, and it's not the low, but you only lose if you sell, and I'm not going to sell, you know. I'd rather that go to zero than sell, you know. But the reality is, at the moment, you know, people need properties to live in, you know. And I always tell clients, like, you know, there's a beauty about having your own home. We talk about rental inspections and all this sort of stuff, you know, but that's surface level stuff. The beauty about having your own home is you have your own freedom.
It's great to have your own, like, peace of mind and kind of like, you know, it'd be yours.
You want a little home gym? Do it. Yeah. You want this? It's your own little piece of the world. You know, it is. It's your piece of land, and you can have your pets, and you can have your gym, and you can have your, you know, your PC room and your gaming room and your simulator room and whatever. But, like, I think a home is super, super important.
It's really important to have your own space.
In a world of uncertainty, a home gives you certainty. You know, and that for me...
Is that your quote?
I just made that up, yeah.
You just made it up? No way.
No, but it's true though. Like, having your own home gives you that ability to go somewhere where you can escape the realities of the craziness of this world.
Especially now.
Yeah.
I couldn't think that quote that you just made up just then is more relevant now.
It's 100% true. And you know, the Australian dream is always to own your own piece of Australia, right? And I think with time, that Australian dream has diminished in terms of size of blocks. It's become smaller and smaller and smaller. And this is why we're building further out. But the infrastructure is getting better.
I don't know if this is the case, but I recall a couple of years ago, I think Perth might have been Australia's best transport.
I wouldn't be surprised. And you know what? Like, you know, I was watching a lot of stuff on Metronet, and we can rival like cities like Paris and stuff with our metro system at the moment, you know, like with where it's going, you know, and that's true. And with our CAT system and the free bus system in the city, the Transperth, the ferries, like Perth is a really, really advanced city.
I think for me to get from, when I was studying, I think to get from Joondalup to the city was about 40 minutes bus and train.
Yeah, exactly. And you probably just catch a train now, you know. So it's very interesting because going back on the little Australian dream, you can have that still. You can live 30 minutes from the city and have 1,000 square meter block and still be under, you know, X amount of dollars, you know. So and to give you facts and figures, you probably do a house and land package for around $500,000, 35 minutes, 40 minutes from the city, with a 500 odd square meter block, you know, with a 4x2, you know. And you know, that's not enough for some people, you know. Like for me, I want a minimum of 1,000 squares, you know. Like I live on close to 1,000 squares at the moment in Netherlands, and it's amazing. My dogs get to run around. I have my Serenity. I've got side access. If I want to put a boat in there, or I've got an extra car that that I put in the side access. So there's all these things that extra space gives you, you know. And like I'm just I live alone with my 2 dogs, you know, happy life. No, but the truth is like having that room to grow the family. Like I've got a partner and she's overseas and she'll be coming here soon. But you know, being able to grow into a home as well is important. It's not just about you know. And the one important thing I will tell people as well is just get in when you can get in. Like if you look at like let's use Bitcoin as an example again, right? And we look at cost averaging, right?
Is this going to end well?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, when is the if you look at let's take Manhattan, right?
So we're going from Bitcoin to
well,
Manhattan. I'm going to come
back to Bitcoin in a second. I'll go to property, right? So point being, if you look at Manhattan in 1930, right? When was the best time to buy property in Manhattan, right? You know, if you bought in the recession, if you bought pre-recession, it was a bad time. If you bought post-recession, it'd be a pretty good time. You know what I mean? Like immediately after. But the reality is property's always increased in Manhattan, and it's harder and harder and harder to get to the point where, you know, you can't buy a decent apartment for under $2 million in Manhattan now, you know? So it's a bit of a huge comparison comparing Perth and Manhattan, but the property example is the same, you know? The longer you wait, the harder and more expensive it'll get to get a property. Now, if we use Perth as an example, if you bought in Netherlands in 1960, or you bought in 2022, the price difference is ridiculous. You know what I mean? So get in whenever you can. Point being, if you buy at the top, like I've done with the Bitcoin, well, I didn't buy completely, I bought at the dip, but if you buy at the top, there's going to be another top. You know what I mean? So just give it time and patience. So enter the market as soon as you can. You know, it might drop a bit, but it'll always go back up. That's just the reality. There will always be recessions. Market will always drop, but it'll always come back up. What else do we want to add? Anything else to this podcast?
No, I think we've hit it. Hit all pretty on the head. I think, exciting month ahead.
Exciting month. Look
Yeah,
out
it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be good. All right. Cool. Peace out.
Good stuff.